Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Token Podcast. I'm your host and sometimes referee, the friendly neighborhood Zach Stat Pearson, who has recently learned that Daisy Duck has 3 motherfucking nieces. And today I'm joined by he who also didn't know this and thinks I'm thinking of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, even though I'm not, a one Officer 9000 plus 1.
Way to read my mind there. Hey, how you doing?
And of course, I'm joined by whatever JoJo character she's obsessed with. I can't tell because they're face down in a pool and it's been bugging me for like a week. Honeybee.
It could be any character. A lot of them die horribly.
Quite a lot.
So I'm gonna leave it to our listeners to try and deduce which one.
Whichever one died in the rain facing down in a white suit with like polka dots and shit.
Wasn't in the rain, but yeah. That actually should give it away. That should narrow it down a bit.
I'm just surprised that
rest in peace.
This motherfucker made JoJo in his 40s, and now he's like damn near 70, and like a bunch of kids love the shit.
He still looks like he's like 30 tops.
He has money and he dyes his hair.
He probably used the stone mask.
I think he used the stone mask. I think you're 100% right there.
I'm just saying he can probably
fucking vampire.
Get a stone mask made out of gold, but he has money and he's Asian.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Through that.
All right, so we're going to be recording a lot today, but for this particular recording, this is just Ye Old Podcast. Now, this was going to be a very unique situation because, well, we're bringing up something from the past and also something from the potential future. First thing we're going to discuss is the leaked, not rumored, the leaked patents relating to the potentially, let me phrase it that way, forthcoming PlayStation Handheld. And technically, it will be the forthcoming PlayStation Handheld. Ironic, or I guess the good pun. They started with the PlayStation Pocket. North America don't really know about that shit, but the real G's do. Then we got ye old PSP. Then after that PSP, we got the PlayStation Vita. Some people do count the PlayStation 1 with the screen built into it, but I wouldn't call that portable. You still got to plug it in the wall and then sit still. Also, it just fucking looked weird to me. Anyways. Yeah. There's no name for it. There's not even a code name that we're aware of for it. For the time being, we would just call it the Vita 2. Now, from what we've been able to learn so far, this may not be so much an individual device as it is essentially a secondary attempt at something they tried with their PlayStation phones, which is a wireless interactive digital media device that is exclusively meant to stream or load and play content that you would normally get from your PlayStation 5. So they've taken a unique hybridization approach, but they've done the opposite of what Nintendo did, where they made all the primary games and the system, the portable system, that you can also use at the home. They've decided to make a brand new device that is meant to play the home games portably. Now, for those who don't remember, a very, very long time ago, like first gen Xbox era, Microsoft had been talking about essentially doing the same thing. Instead of making a handheld with a different set of games, they want to make a handheld that could run their, console games, but at reduced rates in some way, shape, and form. Now, obviously, that is a fucking dangerous idea because of an industry term that, well, only Nintendo has to deal with called cannibalization. I'm assuming we're not familiar with that?
Not here.
Okay.
Nope.
Well,
I'm stupid.
It doesn't involve eating various delectable body parts. What it actually means, or it's a nickname for when a company releases a device or product that can potentially destroy the market and tank and crash the sales of something that is already available from the same company on the market. So it's not the same as, I make a car this year, I make new car next year. It's more like I make a car, but I also make a motorcycle. But my motorcycle is so great, people stop buying the car and I'm losing money on production of the car. But I'm making a shit ton off the motorcycle. That's cannibalization. that's just a rough example. So
Gotcha.
yeah. So outside of, the VR2 coming out, because initially people thought that this was related to the Sony VR2, which recently came out. By the way, don't ever buy a VR system that goes to a video game system if it costs more than the video game system. Anyways, I don't really have a set order for this one, but I'm glad everyone did their homework. Thank you for that. I'm going to go first just because I feel like I have the most, not so much boring, but the most normal approach to what I want to see in this system. First and foremost, hey, look, I want adapters. I want this thing to be the PlayStation Swiss Army knife, goddammit. I want this thing to have an adapter that you can buy that lets you run Vita games on or put Vita games in it. I'm talking Game Gear levels of what the fuckery. For those of you who don't remember how Sega used to handle game systems, holy shit, let me put you on a journey. The president of Sega got it in his head that every system should essentially be able to play every other system that they come out with after it once you got to the 16-bit Sega Genesis. Now, most people just remember locked on technology for the Sonic and Knuckles commercials and the Sonic and Knuckles games. And, if you had a Game Shark or a Game Genie, which, oh man, the whole industry hated, but I didn't.
Yo.
Those were the days.
They were the days.
Kids don't know what the fuck a Game Genie is. They think you talking about some fucking physical location. Fuck no. Anyways.
Kids these days.
Like you're actually mad at that statement. So what they would do is they did do locked on technology, but they would continue servicing, manufacturing, and producing, depending on the country and the demand, other things. So there was a Sega Genesis. Then we all know what came after the Genesis. Sega Saturn. Nope. There was Sega CD insert. So you could use a cartridge slot and you could put in the CD drive for a Sega Saturn, and your Sega Genesis can now play Sega Saturn games. It was called the Sega CD. Yes. Hey, officer, try to get pictures of this shit if you can go along with it, and also memes. I'm gonna head to the pick dump section because a lot of this stuff, it's just nostalgia and it's also really funny. So there was a Sega CD. It literally looks as dumb as you think it does. Basically, imagine someone took a CD player and then they fused a Sega Genesis cartridge on the bottom of it. So now it has an ass, and you take this ass that's connected to the CD drive and you just stick it directly into the Sega Genesis. So it already looks weird. It looks like someone was trying to build a robot and then they said, fuck it, halfway through. See if you can find that one, officer, the Sega CD connected into a Genesis.
I'm trying to find one that has it with the weird little showing on the bottom, but I'm not having much luck yet.
No, just take what you can. It's not a contest. Sega Genesis, Sega CD. And then after that, they made a Model 2. But here's the thing. It wasn't called Model 2. You know what they called it? Sega CD. The actual fuck. The actual fuck. Then, you know what came after that? We went from 16-bit to ye old 32. Here, there's a picture of a bunch of it stacked on top of each other. So Sega made the 32. And guess what that could do? That could go directly inside of the Sega Genesis, and then you could even put more shit on top of that. Oh, and by the way, all of that, none of that technically counts as a Sega Saturn. None of that. Because they still wanted people with Genesis, if they couldn't buy the new system, to just be able to get the equivalent of a console adapter. Now, I know you're thinking, man, this is kind of dumb. Well, luckily...
It's kind of Frankenstein.
Yes. Luckily, nobody else got this idea. Yeah, actually, A lot of people did. The GameCube, for those who don't remember it, and I've actually seen there are people who don't know what the bottom of a GameCube looks like.
For reals?
Yeah, because, well, it's a game system. You don't expect slots for your game system to be on the bottom of the system. Also, young people.
Fair.
Also, young people.
It's true. Young people. Ugh, the youth.
Just can't even pretend that you're fucking mad. You should be better at lying. You're a fucking actor. So
That's true.
so you pull off all the little sockets and you basically paying, what was that one game with the guy? Operation. It's like you're playing Operation with a game system. There were so many ports that never fucking got used on the bottom of a GameCube. Literally only one port was known to have been used, and it was for the Ethernet adapter. Ironically, the primary user of that was Phantasy Star Online.
Fantasy Star.
Yeah, let's not do that song. I fucking hate that song still. Normally they have good music, but that song just, I don't know, it aggravates me. So, I know that sounds ridiculous, but we're in the modern era now. We don't have to have our adapters and connections and accessories be ridiculous and oversized and just taking up space like that. Let's think about it. What does a USB hub do? It goes into a computer so you can do what? Add extra accessories and slots to it. Right now, I have a USB-C USB hub, but guess what? I got it in a USB 3.0 slot. You know why? Because it cost me $10 to get a connection piece to put it in there. So now, my computer that normally has 1, 2, 3, 4 slots, 2 USB, 2 USB-C, now has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now has 9 slots and an Ethernet adapter. I've pimped out my USB. She serves the streets now. I'm okay with this. So, if I have a handheld and I get a very small adapter that probably don't even weigh a pound to play a Vita game, by the way, look at the top half of your pinky where the nail is, and then make it a little bit bigger, maybe half an inch. That's the size of a Vita game. That's how big the physical cartridge is.
No.
You
I'll
can
lose that so quick.
Okay, well, to be fair, I mean, you like barely 5 foot, so your hand's pretty fucking tiny.
Tiny. Teeny tiny.
So,
Like little baby hands.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but hey, as long as you know.
It's true. No, I see myself.
Yeah, like
I have a mirror.
I don't like watch people eat, but when I see like short people getting a drink and they have to hold it with 2 hands, I fucking lose my shit. Oh my god! When
like
you see a wet can of pop, they have to use 2 hands up. That shit, I lose my fucking mind over it. I don't know why.
It's okay. It's okay. We know, short people. We know what we look like. We know it's funny. We've accepted this.
I think that's why they always use wine glasses at restaurants, because no matter what happens, all you have to do is make a fist around the skinny part and you good.
Exactly.
True that.
Exactly.
Shit, that actually kind of scares me. Very off topic, but so I can apparently just hold a wine glass, but because of my natural fist size, if I grip it too hard, the whole bottom half can explode.
Oops.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, because where's it gonna land? All up on my shirt and my pants. Last place you want crushed glass. So, anyways, I would love that. And then, if it could do a little bit of upscaling, just maybe blow the game out to 720. Technically, all the Vita games are supposed to be able to cap at 720 resolution. You can even bring back that back touchscreen, but don't make the whole back of the damn device the touchscreen. Just to make the sides of it a touchscreen, and then make it so we can actually put custom buttons on it, or it could be one button depending on the game. Basically, take that PS5 center center touch panel, which I fucking love that thing. They basically took it off the Vita and put it in the front of the controller. Take that shit and make it the side buttons. Make it a smooth, flat area that's just really, really big. So even if you have big hands, you can't fuck it up. But you could also go in and manually adjust it. Basically, buttons meant to be custom used. They're not meant to be a specific button or be used in a specific way. It's like a controller with a built-in macro instead of always having to go through a third party. By the way, I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that. That always annoyed me. Every video game controller ever that has ever existed from the original manufacturer has no macro buttons. But almost every single controller in the modern era from a third party has at least 1 or 2 macro buttons. No one notices but me.
Yes.
I usually don't do that when playing video games, macros and the like. Unless it's like an MMO or something.
Shit, y'all missing out. Anyways, so I'm gonna order food.
You're asking me to pay attention to something. It's a lot. Thought that we already established that I'm stupid.
See, this is why I don't go through ADD people's social media. Like, I know it doesn't come in conversation, but almost anyone on this group who's got ADD, I purposely don't follow their social media because I already know what's the fuck's gonna happen and it's gonna give me a headache. I'm not even mad. It's more like just stick to one goddamn fucking thing. Goddamn it. I hate when I read somebody's shit and they're telling me some world events. Man, it's fucked up. And you see the shit that happened in Tennessee, and then the very next thing is, hey, look, I'm pretending to be a stripper in my bedroom when nobody's around. Fuck you. Don't educate me and then tease me. God damn it. Oh, and just so we're clear, that's not why fucking Carolyn got removed before that gets brought up at some point. No, Carolyn was removed just because of her fucking own personalities and shit. But no, there are people on the group who do that shit. Like, it's like, hey, come follow me on social, help me out with the YouTube. Yeah, I'm cool with that. And then they add me on social, and then I'll follow them back. And then this one chick, I forgot her name. Her shit was 99% OnlyFans. I was like, what? Oh. Mind you, I had a girlfriend at the time, and she wasn't poly or some shit. So I was like, hey, Deborah, listen, just use my number and email because all your social media is porn. Like, you don't watch porn. No, see, that's not the problem. The problem is, I'm trying to, consistently and habitually get my pee-pee touched, and I'm going to look very, very sus with you around on my social media.
That would be pretty sus.
My profile's not that bad.
More than
your
a
profile
sus.
is you without a fucking top on. Yes, it is that bad.
Unrelated. What was her social media name? Just asking out of curiosity. No real reason.
Yeah, sure. Bullshit. It's not like I ignored it or blocked her or I don't talk to her still. It's more like I don't actually know it by heart, but I can obviously pull it up later. So now if they do that and they also make it so once you've installed a PlayStation 5 game, because I get it, they want to also avoid piracy. Once you've installed your PlayStation 5 game, obviously you put the disc in, or you got the disc system and it's 100%. I don't give a shit. That's the only way you can play the game. Like, the game system has to be connected to the internet and it has to at least send one signal. I know everybody hates Denuvo. I'm not gonna lie, I do too, but I'm not really a PC gamer, so Denuvo don't fuck with me. Haha, nah, nanny boo boo. So I want that to happen, because if that happens, that means that there's less bitching on Sony's part and they run out of reasons to not continue doing stuff like this in the future. Because it's not like they haven't tried. The problem is that when they tried, they almost never market it. The last push they did for the PlayStation Vita was PlayStation Vita TV, and they didn't even support it past like half a year. It's a $100 device. You can put a Vita game and a memory card in one end of it, and the other side is HDMI. And you can run the fucking PlayStation Vita games off your motherfucking TV. And they didn't even give it a damn commercial.
Pretty stupid of them.
Yes! It's like, hey, let's make a smart decision. Cool. Now let's market this smart decision. Nah, man, I don't know about that shit. And now because of that, bro, the PlayStation TV now goes for like 4 times what it's worth. Because it's such a collectible. Take a look at that. $219 goddamn dollars. And that's without the bundled controller, which is $350.
Fucking hell.
You know how much it was when it released? $89.99 or $99.99. Unless you get this shit from a third party, mod hack site, and them getting advertisements outside of a YouTube video, if you're lucky to find it, does not happen. There are people who make HDMI adapters for GameCubes, right? You ain't gonna see them on a fucking TV commercial. It's like they're very good at taking smart ideas and then fucking it up at the last minute. Don't get me wrong, they don't always fuck up, but it's kind of sad how disconnected they are from their own reality of how shit works. So realistically, all I want from them, point blank, is to go in and say, hey, if we're not gonna make exclusive games for this, or we're not gonna allow people to make exclusive games, just keep making adapters. Make it so I can install a PlayStation 2 game, a PlayStation 1 game, a PlayStation 3 game on this bitch, and I can have it just stream to it. Remember, the reason that all the new PlayStations can't run the older games is because they purposely made the engine not backwards compatible or adaptable. And even if they did, like the old president said, I think 2 presidents ago, hey, listen, we didn't want to have the PlayStation 3 not support PS2 games on purpose. But because of the wealth of programming and coding, companies would have to go in and manually adjust the code to be able to perfectly sync up and work and adapt to the PlayStation 3. And that's not realistic. And if Sony went and did it, there's no guarantee of profit, because here's the thing, the game has already been sold. So a lot of people were thinking, well, you could just sell a digital patch. What happens anytime someone tries to make you buy a patch? Oh, you get lit up. I've only seen 2 companies dumb enough to do it, and they regretted it before the first week was over. So realistically, I get it. But with this device and the way that they got the PlayStation Deluxe system set up, they don't have to worry about that anymore. They could make this device from the ground up compatible with the disc media of PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. And technically 5. All they got to do is pop it in a physical system. If it says, okay, this is a legitimate game copy, boom, now you can access the stream version. That would be fucking sweet. And you know what? You don't even have to include it in the base version. Make the base version inherently compatible with PS5 shit. Then, get an accessory or something, or USB plug-in, goes into your PS5, lets you know, look at this data for the PS4, the 3, and the 2, and the 1. Boom. Now this person can access this shit. Oh, and I want good analog sticks that aren't like honeybee sized. I'm sorry, but that system, all the buttons on the PlayStation Vita. Have you ever actually played a PlayStation Vita honeybee?
Me? Once.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel it.
I know, but those buttons were meant for your size.
I know they were.
Bro, do you know how hard it is to play an Uncharted game when every time you hit the jump button, there's a 50-50 chance you hit 2 other buttons?
That's pretty bad.
Can't relate.
Bro.
Can't relate. That's never happened to me.
Yeah, I know. The square button, I shit you not, because everyone know how thumbs work. They're the further up you go on the thumb, the skinnier it gets. And the closer you get to the center, the fatter and wider it gets. Shut up, don't make that joke. So when I press the square button, depending on the game, I'm fucking opening my menu at the same time. Bro, it pissed me off so much. I wasn't even sucking at these games. The fucking buttons were too damn small. Those buttons were almost half the size or a third of the size of a PlayStation 3 button. The fuck? I hated that shit. Anyways, yeah, that's it for me. We're gonna let people go next by order of height. So, officer, you go next. I'm going to order food and listen to you.
Rude. All right.
Wow. Really?
What?
You're like the same height, if not taller than me. If anything, you should be offended you didn't go first.
Thought you had a few inches on.
Well, I'm 6 foot, but I guess when I'm in shoes, I look 6'1". How tall are you?
5'6".
You're 5'6".
Yeah.
So I've just always seen you in boots?
I mean, maybe something that adds a inch.
Okay, well, look. That would mean you still go second. You complaining is like me complaining about, I don't know, going through Honeybee's fucking cosplay social media and then getting mad at myself.
It's not that bad. Most of it's pretty safe for work.
Remember that talk we had about you being a bad liar?
Most of it. Hmm.
No, most of it is. I'm looking at my Instagram right now, and it's pretty wholesome.
You, fucking
Makes sense for
Some
instance.
of it's
like
wholesome.
that. I have literally none of her social media and never have, but I can just tell
Yeah.
this motherfucker lying. Oh, you
I
didn't realize
know
that? I'm not
that.
actually on any of your social media. You didn't notice that?
I know. I noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But I know you fucking
noticed.
lying. That's fucking hilarious.
I'm not fucking lying. I'm gonna send it.
Ooh.
I'm gonna send it right the fuck now. Hold your
I'm not going
fucking
to
horses.
click it.
All right, well then don't click it. But I'm telling you, it is all. It is like the spiciest is like a Bayonetta cosplay.
So
That's
I'm
the
calling
best.
bullshit.
Spicy as it gets.
I'm calling bullshit
No,
Hmm.
okay,
on the
actually,
grounds
no,
of two
there's-
specific factors.
Actually,
Number
no.
one,
There's a
There's
slutty
no
cop.
such thing as a wholesome pan social media. Let's get that out the way. Number two, there's no such thing as a wholesome pan social media who doesn't like getting attention. And what's your profession again? Actor? No, stop bullshitting. You can't even fucking lie straight.
You know what?
Uh,
Actually, yeah, no, I'm full of shit. I'm looking like the first one of the first things that I see is like a Polaroid picture of me in a bunny suit. I'm like, okay, you know what? Actually, never mind.
You know, the one
Let me
thing
shut my fucking
Alright.
mouth right the heck
the
now.
one thing that my people invented that I regret, possibly the only thing, was the fucking bunny suit.
Yeah.
well done. So back on topic.
Oh yeah, it was a topic.
As far as I see it, this whole, this leaked Sony handheld is just going to be a PS5,
Stream
peripheral.
box.
I honestly don't have much interest in it. For one, I don't have a PS5, but even if I did,
That sucks.
I wouldn't have much interest in it because
Yeah, he actually bought my
I'll
old
just play
PlayStation
it
4.
on yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just play it on the TV I got in my room.
Well,
I would just play it on that, which TV I also got from Zach's. Because I don't really care much about, portability when it comes to video games. If I'm going out somewhere, I'm not going to really be playing on video games.
Kind of curious. Do you have a Switch?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I
So
think
does
you're
it
the
just, like,
only
stay
person I
docked?
know that has a Switch, but I don't have you on my Switch like friends list.
Most of the time I have it docked. Occasionally, if I'm going out to hang out with some friends who also have Switches, I'll bring it along.
Huh.
Every parent I met feels the exact opposite. They thank Nintendo for the Switch because it makes kids shut up in car rides.
Thank
Like-
you, Nintendo.
True enough. But other concern that I would have for this handheld is some of those games are pretty graphically demanding, which means it's going to be using up a lot of power. So it's not going to have a whole lot of a very long battery life.
Well, I mean, technology's advanced, and
True.
if it doesn't do 4K, I think the battery life would be better than Nintendo's. But this is a
Possibly.
hypothetical.
Yeah, we don't know, the specs of it, but my prediction is it's probably not going to have that impressive of a battery life.
I don't think
And
about that.
that's basically it for me on that topic.
Okay, bringing up the itty bitty committee.
Ha!
The current queen of the 5'2", I think.
I am the human equivalent of a chihuahua.
See, I wish
what I am.
Kostya was here because Kostya would be so fucking mad right now. I love when Kostya is mad at me for making short puns because she acts like it's not her own fault for being my fucking best friend. It's like, I'm not doing this because I hate you. I'm doing this because when you piss me off, I can always pull out a short pun to piss you off.
You know what? It's funny. Short jokes are funny.
It's not even
I
that.
don't
Like,
care.
I only give her shit for being short specifically when she leaves an opening for puns. I don't do it like because I want to see her suffer.
Oh.
It's just fucking hilarious. And then she gets mad at me like, you shouldn't be doing that. And I was like, well, I mean, you shouldn't be, making sarcastic jokes about me.
You shouldn't be short.
Yeah, like if you want to make insults, you have to come correct. If you the rich guy and you a billionaire and you fit as shit and you got all the best cars, ain't a lot of people who can shit talk you just outright because they see no flaws. But if you short, you should be the last motherfucker talking shit. But obviously that doesn't apply to women because, well, 99.9% of y'all is stubby. But y'all just seem to love sarcasm against a man to the point where it's almost like a drug. Don't get me wrong, I get it. If you can't challenge them physically, you challenge them mentally. Here's my problem. I don't come at you and you're short. That's automatically 3 strikes against you. But I'm the asshole. I didn't start the fight. I just finished it comically.
Always finish it. It's important to always finish.
Ha 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 ha.
Amusing bit of commentary there.
Listen, the only reason you brought me on here is for jokes.
No,
let's be honest.
No. The one I brought for jokes was technically Kostya. Actually, you weren't here when it happened. It's a weird, very short story. Everyone fucking loved her. She was fucking hilarious at random. She didn't believe me for years when I told her she says funny shit that could be on stand-up comedy. Didn't believe me. Gets here, everyone loves her, and she is fucking hilarious, right? Then she quits out of nowhere and then explains to me 3 months later, like, you know why I quit. Like, no, the fuck I don't. I thought somebody was harassing you. I'm ready to fucking beat their ass. Like, no, it's because I hate the sound of my voice. You know I hate the sound of my voice. How the fuck would I know you hate the sound of your voice? I've known you like close to 15 years. At no point in time did you tell me you hate the sound of your voice.
It kind of sucks when you're not a mind reader.
No, yes, but it sucks when you assume that everybody's just supposed to know shit. Okay, in my defense, when I assume shit about people on this podcast, as we've learned today, I'm usually 99% right. But, don't get me wrong. Her coming here ended up being one of the best things for her. I don't know, insecurities about her voice, because she realized very quickly that her voice doesn't actually sound terrible. She just thought it sounded terrible. And now she's a permanent member. You're here because we have a very, very shitty ratio of M's to F's. So I was already looking for new women in general. And then I made sure I told everybody, don't go look at her social, because I already know it's going to start turning into who's gonna throw their number at her next shit. And I came for the funny and the conversation. People can do what the fuck they want to do and all that shit when they're not on here. But as I've learned with, as I previously stated, the other person before you whose entire social media revolves around titty and OnlyFans, nobody could keep their shit together. So I was like,
that's a shame.
Yeah, I was like, look, I'm not kicking you out or nothing. You can show up if you want to, but you always want to promote your stuff and you want me to edit your videos. I'm cool with that. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. But you and I both know you can't go 5 seconds without mentioning penis or vag or OnlyFans, and we will never be able to get monetized. Like 90% of the time you would show up.
True.
So I was like, well, can I be in the specials? Like, yeah, like, you my homie. Like, she know where I live. Like, she's been in my place. Like, I'm cool with that. In fact, I'm probably going to see John Wick 4 today or tomorrow. She might even come with me. I'm going to make sure she's wearing a fucking bra. But, like, everyone knows I'm legitimately cool with almost every type of person. Like, as long as you're not a neo-Nazi or you're not spouting, Nazi shit or repeating racist shit on purpose, like, I will work with you even if you believe something stupid, because you can change from that. I don't care if you, pan and poly, present party included, do whatever. I'm not here to fucking stop you from doing shit. The main goal of this is I'm looking for people who I think are going to let me pick their brain and who are comfortable with saying what's on their mind, but they have to understand, you're probably going to either be right or it's going to be an opinion. And if you're wrong, I'll try to work with you if it's something like extremely heinous. Like, oh, officer, yeah, he was here for this, we didn't kick this guy off because he was a very nice person and we knew how he was, but we had a dude who was so fucked up with the shit he heard about Jewish people. He literally thought another word for cheap was Jew. And we sat there.
No.
Yeah. We sat there for like we had to straight up pause the recording. Like we sat there for like an hour and a half and we realized, oh shit, this dude is so fucked up from racists teaching him shit. He doesn't know that that's racist. Right?
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
It was bad. Because it's not like he was trying to defend it. He wasn't going, fuck you, I can say what I want to. It's a First Amendment right. Yeah, shut the fuck up. No, he was saying like, well, I don't mean it in a derogatory way. You know, I don't have a problem with cheap people. It's like, oh my God, bro, stop.
Whoa.
It was so fucking bad. It was so bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, we worked with her. And then, well, there was a freak. You weren't there for that, officer. Like, specifically 2 episodes in a row where you were sick and didn't show up. We had a freak on. Man, I never regretted something so quickly. She wasn't kicked off, but I had to tell her, hey, listen, stop sending me sexy shit while we're recording.
Whoa.
I don't hate you for doing it, but the reason I put phones on silent and vibrate is literally because of her. Like, listen.
Holy fuck.
I'm not stopping you from, I don't know, dressing in a feminine version of a character with the bra showing, with your legs out and some stockings. I'm not stopping you from wearing lingerie and sending me. Yeah, I'm not stopping you from sending me lingerie pictures or you doing sexy poses and shit. Okay, but here's my problem. You're doing it when I'm trying to focus. You know, that thing that usually happens when a woman isn't pestering a man.
Mm-hmm.
Ha, you're funny. No, I'm being dead ass serious. Like, the only time it's hard for most men to focus is when something hot, be it literal or metaphorically, is in their immediate vicinity. Okay? I need you to just, for the next 45 minutes, not remind me that you have access to black lipstick, not remind me that you can pull off a bunny suit, all this other shit. Oh, you are being serious? Like, yes. Hey, you know I got a Pornhub account, right? I was like, are you trying to fucking make me a customer in the middle of a goddamn podcast? This is literally going on while I'm talking about, I don't even remember what the fuck it was. I think this is when we first started hearing rumors of a Resident Evil 2 remake, something like that. Because normally I just told people to put on silent and vibrate, because if a ringtone gets caught, the whole video could be taken down. It's annoying with how people handle music. Sometimes this is the legal department, not even the actual artists who fuck up this shit, right?
Right.
She's the reason that became an actual strict rule, because I'm trying to have a conversation at the time with my boys. And as any man can tell you, it looks weird when you have a conversation with your boys and you're broadcasting, if you catch my drift. So I was like, okay. So I think I need to have a private conversation with freaks from now on, or I just need to find, freaks who can at least go 45 minutes without sending me sexy shit.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, boom, here you are. So I didn't really plan for you.
Funny story though, actually, I'm non-binary. So.
Okay, so I have nothing against that.
So,
but I'm also not going to pretend I know what that means.
Surprise, you didn't actually get a girl on here. You got an experience. That's what you got.
And that's why I still don't know what the fuck that means.
That's certainly a way to describe it.
See, I'm not even joking right now. Like, I tell everybody, hey, I accept whatever the fuck you are. Hell, we'll even do a whole entire episode if people want about someone's whatever the fuck that is. But don't look at me and act, and I'm not going to pretend I know what all that shit fucking means. I'm not.
Basically, I don't identify as male or female. I'm kind of both, or in between, or whatever the fuck.
And I can explain to you exactly where I got lost and confused.
It's
Gender
okay.
fluid.
Yeah, well.
Because I've heard that definition, and it sounds like damn near the same thing, or the opposite of that, which still makes me even more confused and like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
It's okay. It's okay. Stay confused. It's kind of funny.
Fuck you.
Ooh.
Sorry.
I'm making a short joke out of you as soon as I'm done ordering food.
I deserve it.
You know there's gonna be somebody on the fucking podcast one day and ask me, "Hey, I heard she's non-binary." It's like, yeah, she told me that. Does she have like a penis? It's like, if you think I'm gonna sit up here and fucking ask that shit, you're either going to pay me a very large amount of money, or
y'all are just gonna have to wonder for the rest of your life.
Nah, I'm just going to fucking tell you to. Here's her email. You go ask. Let me know what the fuck you find out. Cause the last non-binary I met, I will never forget it. Shh, fuck, I don't even know.
My pronouns are they, them.
Okay, yes, cool.
Because of my multiple personalities.
See, now that's the only thing you said that actually scares me. I'm trying to think, what did they go by? I think they were doing the they them thing. And it's like, hey, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the movies today. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. It's perfectly fine. I'm just in labor. I was like, oh, your wife's in labor? Congratulations. I was like, no, I'm in labor.
Oh.
I was like, how does labor work for you? It's like, bitch, stop being stupid. I was like, hold up. You've been telling me to say they, them, which I don't have a fucking problem with, since I've known you. And you just thought I knew what your sex was? You just thought I knew? It's like, well, I wasn't hiding it. You wear ambiguously fitting pants and t-shirts that came from rock concerts or Saturday morning cartoons. Don't nobody know what the fuck you are. Are you serious? Like, yes. I'm not joking with you. Oh, well, I do in fact have a coochie. That's word for word what they said. I was like, okay, well, I don't have a coochie. I have the opposite of that. I have an Audi, but I feel like you're going to have this conversation with a lot of other people for the rest of the year, because a lot of people thought you was a dude. Well, I was non-binary. That doesn't mean that we thought we knew what the fuck your sex was. We thought you was a dude because you said you hate skirts and dresses and heels and shit. Well, I do. Okay, well then whose fault is it? It's like, you better not say this during your stand-up stuff. I want to see it if you do. It's like, just because you piss me off, I am going to say it during one of my stand-up shows, and I'm not going to record it for you to see. And then I gave them $100 Amazon gift card and about $30 of diapers. Well, I mailed it to them. Yeah, I don't know why y'all think we know what the fuck y'all are half the time. I got no problem asking, or if I looked it up on social media, but ironically, this is probably happening because I'm not on your social media. Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with it. But hey, if somebody asks you a question you don't like, I'm telling you right now, they didn't come from me. I want to see if I can get you and them on the same episode. It'll be a headache, but it'll probably be funny.
Hello?
No one can hear me? We can hear you. Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can hear me? I can hear you. Okay, great. Yeah, there's a storm. It made my power go out. So now I'm on my phone.
Oh, shit. So you missed all of that. Oh, that's funny.
I missed all of it. I missed absolutely everything.
Well, I am not going to repeat all of that. And to save you from going through a 45-minute video all over again.
Yeah.
Last non-binary person we tried to get was blown away by the fact that no one knew they were non-binary. Even though they were explaining to me that they were non-binary while they were in labor.
I don't ever expect people to know. I just tell them. And then if they don't know what that means or they're confused, I let them be confused. Because again, it's kind of funny.
Which is why I said fuck you. But see, their situation was a little bit different because, well, no one could even guess what the fuck their sex was. We all assumed that she was essentially a he for one specific reason. They went on a 10-minute rant about why they hate skirts and dresses. In fact, we also thought they were kind of gay based on how much they claimed they hate skirts, dresses, and heels, and basically anything feminine that exists in the world, right? So no one thought for a second that this was a biological woman. I was like, and they got mad at me on the phone when I didn't know that they were in fact a biological woman. I was like, and I
Not
told
your
him,
business.
no,
What's in their pants?
well,
Yeah.
I mean, first off, I'm a dude. My whole thing is, I don't care unless it comes up in conversation or there's some like important medical stuff relating to it. Most dudes, I can tell you right now, we don't know if you calling yourself something different from your sex, and we only care when you tell us we need to care. So that's why it's so easy for me to get along with, all types. That, and my mom was a big fan of RuPaul before the drag races. People forget, but RuPaul used to have a talk show in the 90s. So, anything
Really?
anything that and has released 2 music albums. Anything that people would normally consider just like the weirdness, I'm perfectly okay with, just because I started with RuPaul. Also, I couldn't tell what Prince was, and Prince used to come to my school all the time.
Oh, Prince is delightful. This is an absolute icon.
Yes,
truly.
We know you want to smash Prince. It's okay. Most women do. So I went and got them a $100 Amazon gift card and about $30, $40 in diapers melded to them. And I told them, I texted them back like, hey, listen, you're going to probably have this conversation a lot of times for the rest of this year. And it's like, there aren't a lot of people that just assumed that I was male, are there? It's like, yes. Well, why would they do that? I literally just explained to you that you used to go on 10-minute rants about why you hated all female clothing, and 90% of your clothes look like they go to a 12-year-old who watched Saturday morning cartoons. You're always in blue jeans, sneakers, and a cartoon shirt or a rock band shirt. No one thought you were biologically a woman. Well, I guess I can wear a skirt now. I was like, hey, I'm not telling you what to fucking wear because we all know that's suicide. I was like, but listen, you really, really, really make people think you're a dude. I was like, sweet, cool. It's like, now you see why this shit is confusing to me? It's like, yeah, but I kind of think it's funny when you're confused, which is why I still fucking get pissed. That was 4 years ago, mind you. And then I said, I'm probably going to have you two on the same episode if I can find them. And I'm just going to sit there and not say shit so everyone else can be confused. So yeah, what do you want to see in that portable PlayStation? Whilst I order.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. We got off on a rant.
I blame you.
My fault. My bad. I mean, honestly, like I'm not gonna use it myself. Like I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna be like, oh hey, yeah, that's a thing. I just got a PS5, like just now, so I'm not even like thinking about accessories or any of that. But I mean, the officer did bring up a good point about the battery life. That would be my concern. I have no idea how advanced that sort of technology is right now, but can't imagine with like the amount of power that it usually takes that it would be able to be supported on a system like that.
Yeah, my idea was because, well, I guess you were out at the time. My idea was, as long as they don't make it capable of 4K, it can probably get decent battery life.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's my take on it. It's not something I'm personally probably ever going to use because, like, I just don't play games on the go very often. My Switch is almost permanently like dock,
My Switch
so I'm not
been
gonna
so
really
long, the dock got dust on it.
Oh man, my computer's taking ages to boot up. Oofa doofa.
Again,
Man.
you can just upgrade the internals. Okay, I understand, as per usual, we respect differences of opinion, so if you ain't got much to say on the subject, I get it.
It's not not that deep for me, I guess is what I'm saying.
It's
Oh,
totally
man.
fine.
Hiccups.
Okay, so I guess we can move on into our second legendary topic that never goes away. We just don't talk about it all the time because, oh man, the fights. But wait, let me just see if I can summon someone real quick. I'll be right back after these messages.
Okay.
I actually gotta head out now.
Good, then that means I'm getting a replacement. Thanks for coming through,
All
though,
right.
man. Always a
Yep,
pleasure
yep.
to have you.
See ya.
Okay. Delivery window expired. What the fuck? That shouldn't even be a goddamn thing. Okay. Yo.
So, man.
Hey, you busy right now?
Yeah, I'm currently working.
Oh shit. My bad. All right, I'll try to catch you later today then.
Okay, what was going on?
Okay. Oh, you transition. You on your computer or are you still on your phone?
I am on my computer now.
Okay. All right. I hit up the usual extra suspects, but you know, it's not uncommon for there to be a eventual one-on-one at some point with everybody. So, congratulations, your first one-on-one.
Oh my god. I feel like a superstar. Anyway.
So, we don't play favorites with subscriptions based on what shows they have exclusively. We try to view them and review them and think about them as a complete package. So,
Sure.
last time we did this, Disney Plus wasn't a thing. Technically,
Okay.
I don't even think we talked about Amazon Video either. It was really just ye old Red versus Blue, Crips versus Bloods, Hulu versus Netflix. But this time it's, you know, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, and Disney Plus. Who do you like best based on certain circumstances? So I'm going to go to the texting page and I'm just going to type Netflix versus Hulu versus Disney. Still pissed that they jacked the price up 3 times in under 2 years plus. And
Yup.
Amazon Video. Now I'm going to call off what they all do different and what they all do the same. And then we just go through them, see what we do and don't like. Obviously, after that's done, though, if you have a exclusive favorite, you can mention why they're your preferred favorite and shit. So, let's start with the old fogey in the room. Technically Hulu, but realistically Netflix. Look,
It's the one everyone knew.
they single-handedly disabled and put Blockbuster into a coma. Technically, Blockbuster is not gone. Technically,
But technically, you can be brain dead and still be technically alive.
that is both accurate and comical. Good on you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, texting page, Netflix versus Hulu, all them jazzes. Right. So on top of that, Netflix has actual habitual interest, and they have no problem scaling up and down their payment system. Obviously, you can put on multiple people, or they've known you could do it, and then one CEO thought it'd be a good idea to ruin that system last month, and he learned a valuable lesson about, being an idiot. Let's call it what it is. That was stupid. And they never actually went through with it. They have a standard and they have a 4K, and there are no commercials. Sometimes the show you love the most will not get a season 2 or even a full season. And sometimes the shows you love will be divided between what points in time of the year you get new episodes. Now, the main reason people hate this is because they feel like it's milking and diming them and it's a form of extortion, but it's not. It's actually financially responsible, because people forget, but there were times when Netflix would just put things out that everyone loved as soon as they finished production. And then there's nothing for 4, maybe 5 months out of the year. That's not healthy for business. It's not. They've started adding new features and functionality to let you know what is the highest or top rated stuff that is in your entire area or country. And they genuinely can produce and will have things that you can watch that normally you wouldn't be able to watch until after 9 p.m. because that's this country's version of, X-rated time, essentially. Not saying that they have porn, just so we're clear. They have porn adjacent things, obviously, but they don't have porn. Okay? So one time I thought you was going to say something, but okay. So
I was going to, but then I was like, do I want to get us demonetized? No. I'm going to be
know how to fucking censor edit.
Okay, listen. I'm just saying, if they did decide to do porn, I feel like maybe putting that as like a little add-on thing might be a business idea.
Yeah,
An idea.
Uh-huh.
Listen,
I feel like you would say that.
The world runs on porn. The world runs on porn. Maybe we don't like that. Maybe we do. I don't know your life. I'm just saying, we all know that. It is a fact of life. It is a fact of life, my friends. So, free the titty.
Free the titty.
I feel like I just thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It may surprise you to know that there are entire
# free the titty.
first world countries that pretty much outlawed commercial porn. It may surprise you to know that that's a thing.
Doesn't surprise me. We live in like a really weirdly puritanical United States right now. Bizarre, honestly, truly.
We still have states where you can't buy alcohol before fucking 5 p.m.
Yeah, wild to me. Let people live their life. Let them make their bad decisions. Let me make my bad decisions before 5 p.m. on a weekday.
I feel like your social media is the equivalent of a bad decision for me.
Valid. My whole being is the equivalent of many bad decisions.
No, but that's the one that affects me.
Valid. Anyway, I forget the point I was trying to make.
You like porn and you want it on Netflix. That was your point.
No, I just want it available for people.
Sure, that's all you
for other
want.
human beings, because let people enjoy their titties. Hashtag free the titty.
I feel like this is the third or fourth time I've stated how bad you are as an actor at lying to me.
Listen, if I wanted to actually lie and like fool you for non-comedic purposes, you would never fucking know. You would never fucking know. I could be lying to your face. I could tell you I am, I don't know, wanted in 4 states. You know?
I would believe that just to see you fucking outrun a cop, and you can't run.
I can't run for shit. Can't run for shit. But I can cry on cue, so.
That's actually a very profitable acting skill.
Mm-hmm.
Also works on Simps too.
Oh, it sure does. Oh, it sure does.
Do I want to know how you know that?
No, you don't.
I think this is her. Because she said her old social media got shut down. I wonder why. But if it's not her, it's a very good lookalike with the same 6-pack. Let me see.
Back? Does she look like she could crush somebody's face with her thighs?
I feel like I shouldn't answer that at this point in time, but at a later date.
Okay. Valid.
I think I saw you started following my Instagram, so I can send it that way. I think it's her, or a younger version of her. Either way, yeah, it's probably some. Okay, there you are. BEE.Bethy.
That's me.
Okay, so yeah, you did follow me, so I can.
Yeah, shout out my Instagram on podcast.
Okay, well, disclaimer: I'm not responsible for thirst trappery and goth poly bullshit that may happen. Visit her shit at your own risk. Don't involve me.
It's mostly just nonsense, just nerdy ass nonsense.
Yes,
most of my stories are about D&D and D&D related things.
I literally almost rather you have a fucking OnlyFans than a shady IG. But either way, hey, it ain't gonna blow back on me.
It's not that shady. It's really not. There's almost nothing on there.
Okay, so I've literally only seen one picture, and it's the one where you look like a fucking girl who could be your cousin. But let me just read the top things you have in here.
Oh.
Be, they, them. Okay, well, I mean, if I had actually looked at this, I probably would have seen it there.
You probably would have known.
Actor, 30, okay. Actor, podcaster, cosplayer, Michigan cryptid. No idea what the fuck a cryptid is. 2 flags that I don't know the definitions of, but I know the LGB plus fact. And what's directly under there? Under 18 not allowed. Gee, no. I wonder why.
Because I don't want children to talk to me.
Yes.
But that's literally even if it was purely like just safe for work stuff forever, always, and not me.
Hold on, isn't there a built-in option in the settings where you can just literally ban 18-year-olds, under 18s from seeing your shit?
I don't think so.
Y'all never look. Go ahead and look in the settings.
That.
I'm about to go look and see, because I know I've seen it.
I'm gonna go look in the damn settings.
Like, I'm not even like mad at you. I'm genuinely curious. I think I've seen that shit before. Menu, settings and privacy. Oh, that's right. They got bought by Facebook, who is now Meta, because people are going to actually call it Meta. Fuck out of here. Account privacy. Okay, account privacy sets it so only people you follow. That's not the right one.
I don't see anything. And I have been in these settings pretty recently.
Close, freeze, and hide story, tags and mentions.
But no, quite honestly, I just think that teenagers who are under 18 are irritating. And also, I just don't want to interact with them. I think it's like, I have no reason to interact with, I don't even really have reasons to interact with 18-year-olds. Like, anybody under 20, we will have nothing in common, I promise you.
I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I think it's okay at the level of random strangers that get dick pics. When you have an Instagram that's shared with 2 women and one of them is, well, disturbingly hot, let's just say as a straight man, I've seen more dick pics than I will ever have wanted to see in 10 lifetimes.
Yeah.
And this is including this lifetime where I was in the military, where we have communal showers and we all swear off telling women what goes on in the showers because let's just say y'all like that a little bit too much.
And I'm just saying, like, I have gotten. There's nothing worse than getting a dick pic from a teenager and being like, oh, gross. What the fuck? There's nothing worse than that. There is nothing worse, and I wanna limit the potential of that. Because people seem to think that I'm younger than I actually am, so I have to put my age in my bio. Hey, I'm 30. Please do not fucking talk to me if you are a child.
And a bare minimum, I would have said 24. I would have never said teenager.
Okay, well, you know what I'm missing. You know what I'm trying to get at.
Wait, let me rephrase that so I don't make
honestly.
it sound like I'm trying to say, you look old. No, I mean, as if I saw you as a complete and total stranger walking down the street or at a convention, which that's actually probably happened, I would not have guessed under 19. At a bare minimum, I would have said 24,
I
25.
wouldn't either, but I've had people be like, "Oh, so like when are you graduating high school?" And I'm like, "Oh, you sweet angel, you are so kind. You're probably lying to me."
They may be fusing you with Miri because you can pass as Miri's cousin, and Miri is like shorter than you, but if memory serves, she's as old as me or older. But since y'all got that, similar face and she's like 5 foot, they might have legitimately just decided, oh, you must be one of Mary's cousins.
I'm small, but I don't know. Just, ugh. Teenagers are gross. I guess that's the moral of the story. If you were a teenager, I find you disgusting.
The ones that bother me are the ones that assume that the only way to have a relationship with me is by either A, making me a simp, B, assuming I'm a simp, or C, which possibly annoys me the most, pretending to quote unquote get to know me so you can eventually try to quote unquote hook me into an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like, it would be one thing if, 1, I found you actually fucking attractive. 2, you were an adult and, I don't know, I slipped up and said something. Sometimes I actually enjoy when I slip up and say something because I can figure out what type of person I'm dealing with immediately. Because, like, drunk people say weird shit to me, which is weird because I don't ask drunk people questions because we all know that's a bad idea.
No, it's a terrible idea.
Hey, am I pretty? I was like, what the fuck? I'm sure there are people who find, no. Am I pretty to you? I was like, if I say yes, will you shut the fuck up or will you calm the hell down?
Yeah.
Just anything? Am I pretty? It's like, yes, damn it. Okay, fine. You are fucking pretty, okay? Oh, good. Hey, listen. Give me $50. For what?
Fuck.
Me without my panties. That actually happened, by the way. She was 20. I'm 22 at the time, and she was 20, and I'm just like, I feel like we are just biblically miles apart.
That is very, very forward.
She's drunk, though, so I let it slide. I don't even know if she had a boyfriend or if she was poly or some shit like you. I just told her, like, hey, you got kind of weird last night. There were people around. So, that's Miri. If, someone laughing at you, here's what happened. Giving somebody the play-by-play because they're not going to remember shit. Right? And fucking first thing that happens is she says, okay, well, fine. Not 50. How about $30? Did you not hear what I said? No, I heard you. I'm not a customer. Yeah, okay. And then we never spoke again. And she had a $900 pair of shoes that she never saw again. I didn't see them either.
Of course.
Oh shit, that's why he didn't come today. His grandma almost set the house on fire. I never get tired of this group. There's always some shit going on.
Yeah.
Damn. Like, that's gonna be a life story at some point. Oh yeah, why didn't you come today? Oh, my grandma almost set the house on fire. I shouldn't laugh, but
That's why nursing homes exist.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, people don't always throw their parents in there because they hate them. They throw them in there because I can't watch you and I have a day job and children of my own.
And your generation made it so I will never be able to financially support you myself. So
It's ironic. They vote for the people that literally went out of their way to try to gut retirement and Social Security. But then they act like the problem with the nation is new young people's like, well, I mean, we're not taking money from you, so.
Yeah, sorry that I didn't vote for the right person when I was 5. Exactly. Grandma. So sorry about that. My bad.
Okay, so
let me not make it up to you ever.
Okay, well, he should be here for the Trigun review.
Fuck yeah, cannot wait for that shit.
Yeah, surprisingly, I'm actually surprised how
I have so many opinions.
Yeah, and just how many people remembered Trigun. Because
I just rewatched it not that long ago.
Yeah, like if
the
you
original?
ask me, like Trigun was one of the first true Toonami staples. Because here's the thing about Dragon Ball. Everyone says it's Dragon Ball, but it's not. And I'm gonna tell you why.
No.
Because Dragon Ball used to come on Saturday mornings, but once Goku got dynamic, they would just loop the episodes. So everyone knew about Dragon Ball, but we didn't know how far it went. We just know at some point in time Goku's hair is supposed to turn gold because it's in the intro, but then he never does it. It was a UPN or either, I think, Channel 9, WGN. They actually had Dragon Ball, and that was with the Canadian actors, right? Mm-hmm. So we knew what it was. However, you know, the way things are set up now, yeah, my food's almost here. I feel like it was more stuff like Vash the Stampede, and Cowboy Bebop, because for a lot of Americans, that was the first time my generation / your generation, which no, I think you're at the cutoff, but that was the first time we got to see cartoons have a dark plot.
What year were you born? Age yourself here for a second.
I'm an elder
89?
millennial. Yes.
Did you say 89? I'm also born in 89, bro.
Oh, then you need to fix your Instagram because you're lying about your age then.
No, I'm like 30s.
That's not what's on your Instagram is what I'm telling you.
That's like 3 years old. I haven't updated that in a hot minute.
Okay.
So I do need to update.
Yeah, well, still not hitting the follow back button, but I have medical reasons why, so fuck you. I find it ironic how many fucking women find this shit funny, and they, thems, and everything in between. Y'all are the only ones laughing. My dogs be like, hey man, I kind of fucked up. If you need some ice or something, or if you need to do a grocery run, I'll help you, bro. But everybody else, this is funny. One girl, I know I haven't physically seen her in 10 years, right? But I talk to her all the time. Week after my surgery, she asked me, am I out of surgery? Yeah, it was last week. Guess what she sent me? Lingerie pics.
Oh, that kind of surgery. I thought you were like making a joke, like a funny, like haha joke. No, you mean like an actual legit medical reason.
Listen, get her caught up on the surgery I had, quote unquote.
I don't know shit about your medical history, my guy. None. I know nothing. I don't know shit. I don't know anything.
Oh, man. You know, I'm just a bit of context.
I feel like this is one hell of a story because I'm already getting an aw man.
Okay, well, I got my Chipotle now. So, right when you showed up to the podcast, I pretty much couldn't do shit because I've said it and it wasn't a joke, but I guess you perceived it as a joke the previous times you were here. But everyone else knows about it. TM3 was there. Yeah, I actually did have a surgery, but I specifically had it on Mr. Happy.
Oh.
Yeah.
The worst
possible place, yes. And for the record, no, I don't, and nor did I contract some form of unsavory house guests in my crotch.
I wasn't going to assume anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's rare to even have to get this thing done, but what's hilarious to most people is why it had to get done. So very, very long story short, because it's already a podcast episode, you just haven't seen the link. Apparently, my doctor shortchanged me at birth. He literally assumed that, you know, I was gonna have a, I don't know, pinky for a penis, and he was wrong. So when he circumcised me, he took more than he should have.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't get me
Rather
wrong. I am
rude.
not 2 inches from the ground, but I'm also not 2 inches. The recovery time for that is basically damn near the entire rest of this year.
Shit.
Also, depending on what exercises I do, the Kegel kind, which is, well, people love it for sex, but it actually has medical purposes. Kegel exercises I do on purpose or accidentally, it could reduce my fucking how fast I heal up. So I had to reschedule all type shit. I had to reschedule studio dates for recording. I basically could not do work. My own mom fucking had to like buy toilet paper for me. I couldn't walk. Then we found out afterwards when I went to do a follow-up, they didn't actually cut the wiring or the stitching right. So it was actually poking Mr. Mushroom Cap on the sides when I would walk sometimes.
How?
So that added an extra week. Then I specifically told
Bad luck.
a lot of people, hey, listen, if I know you and you're a goth, don't show me anything, because I can't do anyone or anything, period. And erections are ridiculously painful for at least like the next month, maybe month and a half. No one do shit. And there's a lot of goth chicks who took this as a challenge.
As a challenge. Fuck.
Yes.
It's fucking cruel.
Yes.
It's mean as fuck.
Yes.
No. I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh.
No. You're exactly the type of motherfucker that would do this shit. So it's okay. No, it's okay. It's happened a dozen times with women who, if I describe them right now, you would virtually not be able to distinguish them from your own personal self-description. It's okay. I know this is something y'all think it's funny and y'all like to do. It's not actually okay, but here's how I look at it. I like plotting revenge. It's very fun to plot revenge. But I let you slide, cause well, you're just laughing at hypotheticals. You haven't acted on it. But if you did, you would get tossed in the same boat as them, and I would do the exact same thing I'm going to do to them in 42 days and 16 hours.
Check it.
It'll be funny.
Yeah.
My gay friends are gonna love it. My lesbian friends are gonna be mad. But what's important is I get to laugh at their suffering. Because if you're going to try to fucking punk a prankster with 34 years of experience, yeah, that's right. Before I was 1 year old, I pranked motherfuckers. Ask my parents. My dad didn't know I could walk and talk before I was 1 year old. I got away with some shit I should not have, I admit. But if you're gonna do that, tease me and be a fucking goth and act like I'm not going to get revenge, oh man. TM3, I won't send you pictures because I know you're gay, and you know that would be rude, but everybody else who want it, they can get it. I love being a video editor.
This is why I know you don't mess with people who are petty. Because, you know, there's always someone out there who's pettier than you.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't fuck with, I don't purposely make any of my goth female friends, male friends, they, them friends mad, because you don't know what type of goth they are. Are they the I have mommy and or daddy issues type? Or are they the I wasn't raised a certain way, so I take things to heart and I will plot revenge and cut your brake lines with a smile on my face type? I'll leave them alone unless they're trying to get in my bed or they're hot, in which case I would like them to be in my bed. But the thing is that these are a very special group. These were people who are just like actual friends and homies. I don't purposely go out of my way to remind them, God damn, you hot. Or say, hey, look, we homies. Can I please get a piece? These were just, I like you as a person, friends. And 12 of them decided, hey, let's send him pictures, the kind you might find on OnlyFans.
That is so mean.
Yes, laugh it up. But see, here's
Sorry.
my
He
thing.
would have been blocked,
No,
bro.
it's
The moment
perfectly
like
okay.
pain,
I'm
I'm like,
past the
bro.
part. I'm past the
respect.
part of being mad at my friends for laughing because, to be honest, they already know. I would do something very similar to this, but I wouldn't do it when there's a medical condition.
Oh yeah, no. Fuck no, that's fucked up.
Yeah. So
Fucked up.
I've learned a valuable lesson about photography and making collages, and also how to edit text messages with video editing and removing backgrounds. I am going to have a lot of fun. And also, I know 5 of them hate 5 of my friends that love them to death but call them Simpson shit. I'm also going to give them copies of the same things that they've given me. But they don't know that. And the only reason I'm telling you two is because I'm going to edit this part out once we finish this. In fact, I'm going to make it look like we stopped what we were doing and we just noticed TM3 got here. Watch this. So yeah, the real way Toonami got popular is because of that, in my opinion, because we could see those dark things. Oh, here comes a new challenger. Welcome to the fold, TM3. How you been?
I'm alive. It's the best I can ask for these days.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I mean,
Thank you.
your grandma did almost set your house on fire today, so.
It's better than death. So.
That is better than death, I suppose. Damn.
Yeah. So, all right. We were going to, before we got onto the Trigun reviews, we were doing the legendary debate that the internet will never stop having. As long as there is Star Wars versus Star Trek, as long as there is Femboy Hooters versus Goth IHOP, there will be Netflix versus Hulu and every other streaming services. But we've narrowed it down to Netflix versus Hulu versus Disney Plus versus Amazon Battle Royale. Because the first time we did this, we actually left out Amazon Video and Disney Plus hadn't fully formed yet. So technically this is a part 2. I just don't remember what we labeled the video for part 1. We basically just went over the Netflix features, and I know you got Netflix, so I don't need to repeat it. Now, Hulu. Hulu does have commercials. Hulu does have a non-commercial paid version. Hulu even has bundles with actual live channels. Some people hate that, some people love that. And also, you could even bundle it with your Spotify Premium if you do it right.
Sounds like a process.
Now, the way they do it though is kind of like a USB situation. You can get your basic USB Hulu, or you can get the USB-C adapter. You can get yourself ESPN Live. That's all the sports channels for you non-sports people. You can also bundle it with Disney Plus, which is, I feel like, redundant and really stupid because Disney owns the majority share of Hulu. I don't even know why Disney Plus had to exist. They could dump all that shit on Hulu. But I'm not going to go there. I've already made that rant. Right?
Name brand.
Yeah. And also you have the option of adding, secondary networks by their choice. So you can get a Showtime package. I don't know anyone dumb enough to spend extra money on Showtime. You can get the HBO package. Hey, that's HBO though. That's like premium grade porn star right there. That is the Angela White of fucking networks.
I canceled my HBO subscription immediately after Game of Thrones finished.
And there's also the extension. Technically, it's different, but it's really the same. HBO Max, which is basically Warner Brothers DC combined with HBO, because they kind of sort of own that shit now. And essentially, if anybody want, Hulu is basically like a stripper at a strip club. As long as you can get through the door, anybody can pay to get in. They have a tier for every system. However, their low tiers do have commercials, which are a pain in the ass. And also, you don't control what shows will and won't have them because it's not every show. They do it based on, I believe, an algorithm search. So the more a show is liked, the worse it's going to be. So they almost make it worse if there's a good show. Ironic. Now, that Pro though, you get your Showtime. I don't know why the fuck you would. You can get live television. You can even play and pause it. You can get a non-commercial version with live television. The problem is that they don't have an all-in-one bundle, which is why people know that they're full of shit. They know they could do it. And the small bundles they have are ridiculously overpriced to the point where if you combine 2 of the packages individually, I mean, if you bought them separately, sometimes it would actually be cheaper. But their content library is malleable, unlike Netflix. You got it until they have the licensing no more. That's Netflix. With Hulu, no, the major networks got together, so the shit's gonna stay up there. A certain amount of stuff is gonna stay there. And also you got access to other things that you can choose to not have and keep. For instance, if I had a version of Netflix right now where the kids section was completely cut off, I'd buy it. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate kids. I don't have a problem with my god kids. None of that shit. And my younger cousins and great nieces and great nephews and great great nieces and great great nephews, yes, I have those. It's a long story, don't ask. But
Wasn't gonna.
the thing is that they don't want to price it competitively. They pretend that they do. What they want to do is they want to find you and get you in on one ecosystem and possibly get you to invest in another, or to hate seeing commercials so you upgrade what your plan is. Something that is default to Netflix. They even include fucking Disney Plus. Why? But I already said that part. So let's move into, the pariah of the group, in my opinion, Disney Plus. Now, Romulus isn't here, but me and Romulus have been sharing a Disney Plus account. And technically, me and Christina Odisha have been sharing a Netflix account. The only thing I don't share anything with is probably going to be Amazon Video, because I don't have Amazon Video. And my Disney Plus ends next month, and they jack the price up. So if I don't find a third person, I'm not going to have Disney Plus, which sucks, because I really do want to see all the new shows that are coming. But I'm not trying to give them $110. I would prefer to divide that by 3 people. Anyways, Disney Plus.
Smarter to do that way.
Yeah, Disney Plus has the entire Marvel related library, everything, especially since the Fox merger. So if you want your Saturday morning X-Men cartoons, by the way, as if you don't already know, we're finally getting new seasons to that show. They got you. You want the Saturday morning or weekend Nickelodeon X-Men show that used to come on? They got you. You want anything you grew up with that was involved with the words one, Saturday, and morning? They got you. Recess, Doug, goddammit. Actually, I don't know if they have Doug, but they probably fucking at least have half of it, because it was weird, but for some reason, Disney bought Doug for a few years. I don't know why. It was fucking weird. But anyways, they got you, but that's it. Any movies they get come from one of their tertiary or subsidiary companies. Although it's not common knowledge, Disney as a whole owns more than one movie company or movie production company, because, as we all know, rich people like getting tax breaks. So if you divide your movie and movie production facilities up into multiple businesses, you don't get taxed as hard. Is it immoral? Technically, no.
Fuck yeah. Well,
technically,
I don't know. It seems pretty fucked up.
Yes, but is it immoral? Technically, no. But I acknowledge that it's very shady looking. I'm not a shill, as we've learned from the last video on the channel, which was about me being an anti-shill and why there should be federal regulations on shilling, or at least harsher federal regulations on shilling. For the most part, I'm at a point in my life where I believe that every big company knows if they're going to do something shady or not, whether we say anything about it or not, or whether they get exposed. They know if what they're doing is something shady or not. And if they don't, they hire financial analysts and all other type of people to let them know if it is and isn't.
They almost always fucking know, and they're almost always like, well, do something about it then. Bitch.
That is very accurate.
Who's gonna fucking sue Disney?
Like,
who's gonna take Disney to court? Fucking nobody.
What is it? 7 of the 10 most expensive law firms in the entire country, if not the world, all work for Disney and have an office in the corporate building.
Yeah, no, You do not tell them. You do not tell the mouse to like see you in court.
Don't even get me started on all the what was it, daycare companies that got sued over the course of like 1 year. They took out the entirety. They basically tried to sue the entirety of the babysitter and daycare industry, and they were pretty much winning. But that's its own
what
video.
happened? Oh, Disney?
Yes, this is something real. It happened when we were very, very little, but I remember it because it was on the news. Yeah, we'll get into that later on. But they don't have anything. The biggest strength they have is that they're going to get a lot of Marvel shows. But guess what? Most of those shows don't even make 10 episodes per season. And that's before the pandemic. Most of the shows don't even make fucking 10 episodes. They want people to come for Star Wars stuff that everyone's already seen because it was on Cartoon Network forever before it went to Disney Channel. And they want people to stay for everything else they got and potential new Pixar shows. Here's the problem. You don't have it already though. And then you jacked up your price twice.
Yeah.
So we can just move into Amazon Video, which has one of the most unique features and technically the largest library on a technicality, which is kind of stupid how they advertise it. So,
Okay.
besides having the worst user interface for damn near its inception, which is 10 years at this point, a little bit more, they finally fixed the user interface. But because they had it shitty for so long, I'm continuing to hold it against them, and I will right now. But here's where we really get into some differentiation. Remember how I told you on Hulu, you can buy a network extension for like Showtime and HBO and various other networks if you want to? Well, Amazon can sell you any movie that's been digitized, whether it's SD, HD, or UHD, and add it to your library permanently. Not licensed, you just own it, meaning it ain't going nowhere. A full season or a singular episode, don't matter. And on top of that, they do have their own library of shows. They're starting to do very well. They don't so much have a flop as they do things that just aren't good enough to, win an awards. Most of it is good. There's not a lot of it, but most of it is good.
They're building.
Yes, they're building an empire. But on top of that, they also have the same function as Hulu. You can actually buy a Showtime package. No idea why you would fucking do that. You can buy access to HBO. And it doesn't matter if you're into Japanese cartoons or any cartoons. It doesn't matter what network they're on, Disney or Nickelodeon. If it came out on Blu-ray, if it came out on DVD, you can technically buy it and add it to your library. So on a technicality, Amazon Video has the biggest library. On a technicality.
Fair enough. They do sell pretty much everything, so.
And you don't have to just stream it. If memory serves, you even get a download option. Let me, in real time, because my screen is recording. Let me pull up Amazon Video. Amazon Video, because they usually tell you the features that go with it. Any movie that gets released, physical and digital, you can rent or buy. They actually give you a choice. So let's just say, for example, by some miracle, you can't buy something. You can rent that bitch. Well, let's say, for example, you can't rent something. You can buy that motherfucker. If it was digitized and Amazon is aware of it, or the company that has the licensing knows Amazon exists, it's going to end up here. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people who don't know that they actually can do that. They just think it's just like everybody else. There's a link for you in the texting page.
Yeah, got some on from that.
Yeah, and a lot of their stuff in every category that they care about, there's something good. How do you compete with a company that can expand its library and customize it to the customer by letting them manually add to it? crazy, right?
Yeah.
You
No one
buy
noticed
the
that's there.
licenses
No one knows
and
that's
revoke
there.
the rights. That's one thing I can think is to buy the licenses and remove the rights from it being sold on different platforms. Make it
It doesn't
specifically
matter.
to your thing and only.
It doesn't matter. And I'm gonna tell you why. If I bought it, I bought it. Not to mention I can download it. Think about that
They
for a second.
can't make
You
it
could
so you
have
can't
the
buy it through
Invader Zim
Amazon.
movie. You could have the Invader Zim movie, which is only allowed to be on Netflix. But if they make a Blu-ray, a DVD, a 4K version of the Invader Zim movie, which I'm actually going to look into right now, a Nickelodeon technically slash, Netflix exclusive. Guess what? It's in my library forever on Amazon.
Well, then the future is never making Blu-rays.
Don't jinx me, man. Don't jinx me.
If they want to try hard enough to like stop Amazon to like having the pure monopoly, and there's no other way from like keeping them from making profit off their platform, they're going to have to reserve their rights and restrict things extremely hard. That's the only sensible thing to do if you want them to make their money. And as Amazon slowly takes over, I don't see why not other companies would do that unless they want to get eaten up.
And let's not forget, you can trade in on Amazon too. You can give them Blu-rays. You can give them DVDs. There's nothing you can do. Invader Zim is its own fucking merchandise franchise on top of being a ridiculous show no one wanted to get canceled.
I love Invader Zim so much. I watched it yesterday. It's crazy. Speak about it.
Oh, well, the movie's only on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it.
Oh, of course.
On a side note, that's what the DVD collection box looks like. So, now, knowing what you all know now, what are your personal favorites and what do you have to give the nod to because they shit on your personal favorite? Starting with Honey, because you showed up on time.
Okay. All right. So, my personal favorite as far as streaming services go, God, I think. Let me think. I'm gonna probably have to I guess give it to Hulu. Just because I am a sucker for a historical drama, and Hulu is chock full of them, and that is my one reason for giving it to that one.
What she really means is she watches Drunken History.
No. I like to watch British people cry.
I see like big men crying. Okay.
I like to watch British people cry dramatically.
Let the record
in the
show
rain.
I was right. She likes to watch the suffering of others.
I do. It's fine.
The casual agreement.
It's.
I mean,
I just have my personal preferences, and my personal preference there is that it's funny. It's just funny to watch them weep in the rain dramatically.
No comment.
There you go. My genius answer. You're welcome.
I mean, I wasn't gonna comment, but to be fair, I have Chipotle in my mouth. So
Anyway. Just because I'm a monster.
Not being killed by a burrito bowl. Whew. Okay.
Don't do that.
Now that being said, which one do you have to give the nod to as a superior service, or do you still stick with Hulu?
Well, I haven't had issues with Hulu just kind of like randomly canceling my favorite shows. However, Netflix has given us some pretty cool shit over the years, gotta say. Toughie. You know what? I am gonna say Netflix. as far as service goes. I haven't had any like major issues with them. I've had like little issues with pretty much everything else at one point or another. Also, it's very basic. Everyone has Netflix. If I'm recommending a show to somebody, I can say, "Oh, it's on Netflix," and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, sweet." Whereas if I say, "Oh, it's on Amazon Prime or it's on Hulu," they're like, "I don't have that," and then the conversation ends there, and
Pretty
we all
much.
look silly. Yeah.
One thing I
Shit,
always
it's on
thought was kind of
Amazon.
interesting. I don't know if anyone noticed this. Maybe it's just me, and this is just something I'm asking to y'all. When Netflix has a really, really good show, everyone loves it. It goes on like a social media campaign. It gets a Twitter
Yes.
page. They get announcements. They show people doing internet memes with the shit on their own.
They make
YouTube
sure you
channel.
know exactly what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Extremely
the
well
YouTube
advertised,
Netflix
yeah.
channel is actually good. And then they even made a show that's about showing you what's coming up on Netflix throughout the year, which they should have did year one, goddammit. But did y'all notice that they're the only people that do that? Disney Plus don't
The only
do
one.
that.
Oh, fuck no.
Bro, all those Star Wars
Advertising.
shows that they announced at Star Wars fan event, none of them had any social media presence until that time. And now that it's already a past, they still don't. They're relying on word of mouth or secondary transmedia. And for those who don't know what that means, because people make assumptions, transmedia just means transformative media. It's a contraction. They're relying on people making media about the little bit of media they told us about. That's it. Okay, well, unless you had something else to add to that, TM3, you ready?
Sure. I'd say my favorite streaming platform would be Netflix because of the universal pull it has. As you said, a second ago, its advertising is extremely well done. If I could say a show and name it off of Netflix, most people would know it off the bat, rather than aside from the mainstay shows of Disney and The Boys or Amazon Prime kind of thing. But if I think the best one overall, Amazon, for the reasons you stated earlier, and half of I've been seeing them slowly build up their library, and they haven't had any huge drama like Hulu has or Netflix has. It's just quietly building up in the background, getting a bit terrifying to look at, because when they take everything, they have the full control over the price.
Okay. So, your favorite and your best choice is both Amazon?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so that's one for Netflix. That's two for Amazon Prime. I'm gonna just look up AMZ Prime or Amazon Video, however you want to call it. It's weird. They give you Amazon Prime with Amazon Video, and they give you Amazon Video with Amazon Prime. So they're permanently fused together at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's all part of their plan.
So that just leaves me. Okay, so my personal best choice is because they learn from their mistakes, and that is Netflix. Not because I've had it the longest, but because they learn from their mistakes. Now, luckily, I've never seen it, but all my friends did, and they wouldn't shut up about how disgusting it was. Does anybody remember Cuties?
No,
Oh
that
God,
is.
I tried to forget that entirely. You brought it back.
Cuties.
So I'm the lucky one who didn't watch it, and I'm glad I didn't, apparently.
I didn't watch. I just saw the ads for it, and I was just like, please, I don't want to remember this ever.
The fuck is what?
Okay, so Cuties came out, and everybody perceived it as basically a show that's meant to pander to pedophiles. I'm not even joking.
Oh, what the fuck?
So the more popular it got in the social consciousness, the more Netflix was losing subscribers, because this wasn't a show that Netflix licensed. This was a Netflix exclusive, meaning they made it.
Oh,
Right?
Flex. The fuck?
Don't watch it. I'm telling you right now. I'm not. And I'm
Well,
being,
obviously not. Now you said the P word, and I'm like, ew, okay, gross.
yeah, I legit have to edit that word out,
Yeah.
regardless of monetization, just because
Yes.
I need people to understand that it's not a joke. They literally made a show that somehow had a mass appeal to pedophiles. Mind you, it was an accident, right? But
Yeah.
the following week that it came out, they lost like an actual notable percentage of subscribers because they were just discussing with this one show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just gotta imagine all the people. Like I can say, like you can imagine all the people working on that show, and not one person from a distance said, "It's kind of weird," you know. Like not one person said that and said, "Nah, you're wrong. It's just kids dancing, wearing near nothing."
Ew.
Exactly.
So I essentially dodged a bullet. But
Yeah.
notice how they never put anything out there like that ever again. Also,
Ever.
celebrities even like going to Netflix instead of just giant movie theater networks, movie producers, to try to get things done. Not necessarily a passion project, but just something they know is good and they want to fund it. I know it's not common knowledge, but a lot of celebrities, when they get older, even if you see them less, it's not because they're not cool or they're not popular. They are becoming producers now. Like a big producer that was very funny, we used to see in the early, late 90s to the early 2000s was two names. Number one, Judd Apatow, a name everyone's heard, but you can't place the face. Number two, Ben Stiller. You can place his name and face, but you don't know what he's worked on. See, here's the thing. A lot of the Ben Stiller movies, he actually was a co-producer on, or he was a writer on. And some of his biggest shows now, people don't even realize he's a producer on. Now, this is a good one. You might like it. This is one of those watch it with your loved ones type shit. Is Into the Dark. It's possibly the only dark comedy where the main character is blind or has ever been blind. Literally, I think it's the only comedy where the main character has ever been blind. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this show, not a movie, this show is about a woman who found her hero, who was who was a child, murdered in an alley. It smelled like him and it felt like him, but no one could find the body. And no one understood why she was so attached to this child. He's like 16, 17. She's like 24, 25. But she doesn't know that she's ridiculously hot. She's blind. But to be fair, I've met actual ridiculously hot blind women. They don't know that they're fucking hot. They actually get offended when people describe them as beautiful because they don't know the concept.
Yeah, looking in the mirror and having those constructs of looks never really apply to them.
Okay, I'm gonna have to burn through this before I accidentally get remembered how beautiful they are, because that would fucking hurt. You think it's a joke?
I don't think it's a joke anymore.
I know it's not a joke.
Well, yeah, you have context now, but TM3 was there. So, sorry, green pepper in my throat. So, she starts actually trying to find him throughout the show. And then we learned that she wasn't like smitten with him or had a crush on a kid because, well, it's messed up. It can happen, but there are situations where blind people don't know the age of the person they're with. But at that point, it's not really their fault. They're being taken advantage of for a disability, which is all kinds of messed up. But no, on her way home one day, some guy was stealing her purse in New York. Then he realized she was blind and to stop her from yelling for help, he literally just decided he was going to beat the living shit out of her in the middle of the street. And they did not turn away. There was no cutaway or showing the shadows of an ass whooping. They tried to make it look real. Her face was bleeding. She had fractures. She had a purple eye socket. And that kid came up, whooped that dude's ass. So ever since then, they've been inseparable for like 2 years. And that's like the first 2 episodes. And no one knows Ben Stiller made it.
Damn.
Last thing they
No
remember
credit.
is Delta Farce, where Robert Downey Jr. had on blackface. Good movie, by the way. Really want a sequel. Anyways.
Shit, is it that late already?
Huh?
Shit, it's late. I didn't realize what time it was.
No, that's fine. If you got somewhere to be, we can get you back later on.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that. Fuck. That sucks.
Okay. Well, what's a good day to book you for Trigon, or you want to try later tonight?
I'm doing something else later tonight. I'm free tomorrow.
Okay.
Question mark.
I mean, you saying it like
Pencil
you're
me
not
in.
free.
Pencil me in. That might change, but I'm pretty sure I'm good tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Yeah. Always the good times. It was fun. I hate that I have shit to do right now.
No, that's fine. Expect more short puns when you show back up.
I will. Yeah. No. Give me all the puns. All the short jokes. I'm down. I have no fucks. Fine.
Well,
Never
I mean,
offended.
Even if you had a fuck, we couldn't find it.
The laugh that goes on forever.
Anyway.
So
No.
Netflix is naturally more willing to take a risk.
Agreed.
And they get
Yeah,
rewarded.
I love their originals, even if they are stupid.
All right. Well, anyway, with that, I am going to skedaddle. See you around. Bye.
Catch you later.
See ya.
And a lot of these originals, they will be starring people that, well, they may not be famous in the country that it's playing in, but they're still good actors. Or they were in other Netflix originals, and you might not have realized it. I fucking love it.
Fair.
I love it as a concept. They're the best at producing it, which is sad because you think Hulu, which is technically owned by like 3 or 4 different major networks, 2 of which I think are owned by Disney, would have the better originals, but they normally don't. Hulu is good at original movies, whereas Netflix is better at original shows. That doesn't mean everything is perfect. So my personal favorite choice is Netflix. However, kind of sort of echoing everyone else's sentiment, well, minus B's. No, she said the same thing. Amazon Prime / Video is like the Blob. You can't kill it. You can only give it something to eat. And it's only going to get bigger. You ain't doing nothing but trying to drown a shark. Bro. If there's a show they don't have, you can buy it physically, you can buy it digitally, or you can rent it. If there's a network you don't have, you can literally pay to get an extra option included. And that extra option will be cheaper than going and getting the network by itself. Realistically, the only thing Hulu got going for it is the live TV option. But guess what? They paywall the shit out of it. Also, that option is only good based on your internet speed. So the way I see it, not on a technicality, by way of features and abilities, Amazon Prime wins this entire contest. But Netflix is realistically still going to be a lot of people's number one choice, including the people in this, podcast group.
It just has far too much reach.
Yeah. And also, how much time have they had to build up the library? When they do a good show,
Since they took down Redbox.
when they do a ridiculously good show, you know about it. Stranger Things was on every bag of Doritos for like 5 months 1 year. Hulu does a ridiculously legendary big ass show. I don't know nothing about it. They may put it in my recommended tabs in the main menu, but I didn't see no commercials on it. I didn't see no movie advertisements on it. I didn't see it have it a YouTube page, and I didn't see it get brought up on Hulu's primary YouTube page. Oh, it got a Twitter account though. Ooh, that nobody updates.
They got a Twitter account.
Because that means so much these days.
Yeah, damn. I want to like Hulu. That's the sad part.
Oh, same, bro. When I found out you could get a bundle with live TV, no commercials, and Disney Plus, I was like, cool. When I found out you can get a Spotify and a Hulu account bundled together on a discount, I was like, cool. When I found out you could make Hulu get HBO access, again, I was like, cool. Then I found out ain't no way in fuck you can get all of that together. And if you do, they want something like, I think, $70 a month. That's my whole fucking internet bill. Matter of fact,
Nah.
what am I doing? Let me go to Hulu right now. Look up their plans. I'm gonna see what the closest to a premium, ultimate, everything included plan is, which they don't ever, excuse me, really like to do. Let's see my stuff. Where do I go to look it up? Account. Your subscription, manage plan. Their biggest plan, Hulu, no advertisements, live TV plus Disney Plus, no advertisements, and ESPN Plus, by the way, that comes with ads, is $82.99.
Comes with
Wait,
ads?
hold on. Hey, pull up your calculator real quick. Let me know when you got it up. We about to do some real good math.
Yeah. You want me to pay for ads? Oh my. This is what I'm talking about. I'm ready.
Okay, $82.99. Now that's for everything without ads except ESPN. Fucking crazy, right? Now add $14.99, then $3.99, then $9.99, then $8.99. What is this option? Let me see real quick. And then $7.99, and then $9.99. Tell me what that is total.
What are these different channels, bro? This is $138.93. Like, what am I paying this much for? At this point, you
That's
might
how
as well get
much you have to
cable.
pay to get everything unless you speak Spanish. So peep this.
Unless you
The base price, Hulu with no ads, Disney with no ads, and ESPN with ads, blows my mind that they would even put that in the same place. That's $82. Or we'll just say $83 for the time being. HBO, $15. Showtime, $4. Cinemax, forget they existed, $10. Stars, $9. And then there's the network packages. There's only two. Sports, $10. Entertainment, $8. Now the ones I left out are the unlimited screens and Espanol package. How much did that come out to? Hello?
Listen, at a certain point, I just came like, I don't know. I became stun-locked. That's the correct word. You stun-locked me of all this.
Bro.
This isn't...
Let me do this shit. Damn.
You just... Holy fuck. Nah. Ain't no way that's worth that.
Oops. 82.99 plus 14.99 plus 3.99 plus 9.99 plus 8.99 plus, not doing unlimited screens, because remember, this is technically meant for one person. 9.99 plus, lastly, 7.99. $138.93 before taxes.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
Oof, if you did, I didn't fucking hear you.
Oh,
So,
oh yeah.
that's what it comes out to before taxes. But realistically, that's $145, $140, or $144. Fuck the bullshit. May even be more depending on where you live.
Pretty much, like it's is that a month?
Yes.
That's
That's more than most
nerve.
people who are watching Hulu's internet bill. So
They genuinely got some fucking nerve to do that shit. Like,
yeah. And notice that doesn't include the Spotify bundle, where you can get Spotify and Hulu combined with ads. Wasn't even listed.
because you're still getting ads on all of that. You're still paying that much. And you're
It's
still
only
getting
$6, but you have to watch ads. So realistically,
that was my biggest gripe with Hulu.
Amazon and almost everything in that list, you can buy, download, or rent on Amazon Video /Amazon.com/Amazon Prime. So, with the exception of the HBO stuff, which again you can physically buy that, but obviously a monthly subscription would be cheaper, especially as an add-on. Excuse me. Fucking Hulu, for everything that they got going for them, their pricing is their biggest barrier. So, the winner of this technically is Amazon Prime /Video. However, Netflix is the real MVP because that's the one everyone's going to be using.
Just keep an eye out for Amazon.
Okay, with that being said, that brings this episode of Token Podcast to an end. I will see you guys when I see you guys.